Hey everyone, welcome to Fish Fact Friday. Jonathan here again, coming to you with our next installment of it. Today we're going to really deep dive into some of the darkest parts of our oceans, and we're going to explore the life of one of the strangest animals on the planet Earth. And that's going to be the anglerfish out here. You guys may recognize them with their lures and everything in their big old mouths. So let's take a moment. We're going to learn about their identifying marks, where you may be able to find them, diet, hunting, some fun facts, and everything about them. So, with that being said, let's start exploring their story in the animal kingdom. Um, Anglerfish, right here, are instantly recognizable, right? We all kind of seen the photos or the pictures of them out there. And their lure right up here, this little top piece, is bioluminescent, and that extends from the top of their head. And that lure piece is called the elysium. And at the very end of it, this little bulb is known as the esca. This little bulb right here has a symbiotic bacteria, and that's what actually makes it um, grow, glow out there. Sorry about that. And everything. Their bodies are really kind of dependent on the species, so they can be round or flattened with loose, stretchy skin. Their jaws are really flexible out there, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as we get um, keep exploring them. Um, their mouths are enormous to relative to their body size. You can see on my little example guy how much bigger that mouth is compared to how small its actual body is, and out there. So it's lined with long, transparent, needle-like sharp teeth that are actually mostly pointed inward. And this is so the prey can't escape back out. And that's a lot of times because they will eat prey that is a lot larger than them. Their coloration, you're going to see different colorations, but typically they're a dark brown, gray, or black. And it's really helping them blend in with the ocean that they're going to be found in out there. Many species have spines, bumps, and fleshy growths that add to their camouflage and out there. So let's talk about where you might find these. The thing is, with most of the anglerfish, you're probably never actually going to find one if you're out there diving by yourself. And really, that's because they live in depths about 1,000 to 10,000 foot, where the sunlight doesn't go, where recreational divers definitely can't go out there. You're going to see they're going to be in these areas that are nearly freezing. So that being said, they can be in many of the oceans: the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Southern oceans, drifting or hovering right over that ocean floor out there. Some species may live shallower, but still, we're still typically probably not going to be able to ever see one while diving. Because of the extreme depths, like I said, we won't encounter them. What we know and have learned and seen of these guys have come from underwater submersibles, of remote control ones that people are driving around looking at stuff. The anglerfish size varies depending on the species of anglerfish. So they're very typically 3 to 12 inches long. However, some can get 3 to 4 feet. Their lifespan isn't fully understood. They're not highly studied, but most scientists that do study them think they live between 10 and 20 years out there. Um, one of the most these are one of the most extreme size differences, though, between the male and the female in the species. The female are going to be the larger. The males, a lot of times, are only just a couple centimeters in length, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. Uh, let's talk about a little bit about their diet. Like I said, they are ambush predators. They use their lures to bring in animals in close, and they're just sitting there drifting. So they're going to eat pretty much whatever comes close to them: fish, squid, crustaceans, whatever kind of ends up in their area. Their mouth can just shoot out, can like jump and like grab their prey super, super quick. So they aren't really worried about missing or having to swim after a prey to catch them. They're actually relatively slow fish to be swimming. And another thing is they will eat prey much larger than them, but because of the flexibility of their jaw, they are able to swallow those larger uh, food out there. Now let's talk a little bit some fun facts about them. As I mentioned before, the males are considerably smaller, usually a couple centimeters in length, compared to the females. And what they end up doing is a male will find a female and he bites onto her, and then over the course of time they permanently fuse with the female, and the male's organs dissolve and he becomes a parasitic sperm donor um, to the female for reproduction purposes, and thus they're sharing a bloodstream out there. And here's the thing: fun fact is, because they're so small, the female may have multiple um, males attached at one time out there for them. The glowing lure, again, is a bioluminescent bacteria that lives inside the esca right up here in the ball. And the anglerfish are completely fine with just living in total darkness, relying on their lure and sensory systems to use as instead of vision in order to catch their prey. As I mentioned, their jaws accommodate in that massive prey, so it allows them to eat quite a bit of animals out there. Their appearance over time has inspired a lot of sea myths that we have seen and heard throughout history. So, all in all, overall, these are one of the coolest animals we may never be able to see, that you may never be able to see while diving. But maybe if you can watch some online videos, seeing submersible videos, seeing them in the deep waters. Their lures are what makes them the famous and gives them that name, the anglerfish, because it's like they're fishing for their prey out there. So I hope you like today's Fish Fact Friday. Come back. I'll have another one in another couple weeks. If you have an animal that you would like me to talk about, I'd be happy to do the research, get their information, and everything. Leave a comment about that in the below. Hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you soon. Hope to see you in the water. Bye.